Hello, welcome to the third lesson of this unit. We are going to continue our writing of equations today. So you're going to be using all of the same skills that you learned in the last lesson. However, we're going to introduce two more vocabulary words to the mix. The first vocab word that we are focused on is parallel lines. Now, I would assume that you've learned this in geometry, so let's talk about some important things here. Parallel lines. The stuff that you learned in geometry was that they are two lines that never touch. The stuff that we are adding to that in Algebra 2, which is the important stuff, is they always have the same slope, and they always have different y-intercepts. That's your important stuff in Algebra 2. Parallel lines have the same slope, but different y-intercepts. Perpendicular lines. In geometry, you probably learned that perpendicular lines are two lines that intersect at a right angle. And that is absolutely correct. In Algebra 2, the most important thing that we are going to talk about, though, is that their slopes are opposite reciprocals. Now, that's a little tougher for some students to understand. So let me give you an example of what I mean. Let's say that the slope I gave you is 2 over 3. Well, opposites are one positive, one negative. So since the answer I gave you is positive, your slope is going to be negative. Reciprocal means that we take the fraction and we flip it over. So if my fraction was 2 over 3, your fraction is 3 over 2. This is an example of opposite reciprocals. Let's give you one more. Let's say my slope was negative 5. Well, opposite of a negative is a positive, so your slope is positive. Now here's the part where people mess up. We need the reciprocal. We need to flip it over. Well, before we can flip it over, we need negative 5 to be a fraction. So that's negative 5 over 1. So now, when we flip over 5 over 1, we get 1 over 5. And again, it was negative, now it's positive. Those are examples of opposite reciprocals, and we will practice a whole bunch more in the lesson. The other two vocab words are completely reviewed from your last lesson. It's just your two formulas. You can use slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. Or you can use point-slope form, which was y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So what you're going to see in these examples now is you're going to be given words like parallel and perpendicular in all of your examples. So let's start taking a look. First example is multiple choice. Which of the following equations is, keyword, parallel to y equals 3x plus 8? Well, parallel means same slope. So what's the slope of this equation? Well, the slope of this equation is the m, and the m is right there. The 3 needs to stay the same. So if you look at our 3 multiple choice answers, the only answer that has y equals 3x is this third one right here. That part stayed the same, but that part changed. So C is your right answer. Example 2 is just like it, only it's open-ended. Write an equation of a line parallel to y equals 2 over 5x minus 7. So again, we have parallel, and that's misspelled, that's my mistake. Parallel means same slope. Well, our slope that has to stay the same is right there. That part of the equation must stay the same. Y equals 2 over 5x. But the y-intercept has to be different. Well, it can be any number you want. Instead of minus 7, it could be plus 4. Instead of minus 7, it could be minus 10. Instead of minus 7, it could be plus 20. But if you notice on all three answers, the first part never changed, only the y-intercept did. So that's going to be important. Your m is going to stay the same. So now that we kind of get the idea of what parallel means, let's apply it to an example. So, the first thing you need to do is you're going to draw a line parallel to the lines that I give you. But there is a given requirement. Then we're going to write the equation for the line you just drew. So our requirement on this first one is the y-intercept has to be 4. On this second one, the requirement is the y-intercept has to be 5. The problem is, on both of these, we don't know the slope. That's what we're going to find first. We are going to find what m is. Well, we know how to find slope from a graph. We learned that 2 lessons ago. We have words like rise over run. So pick any dot you want to start at. I'm going to start at this one, and I'm going to count to the next one. So I'm going to count up 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, since I went up 4, that's a positive 4. And then I'm going to go to the right 1. Since I went to the right 1, that's a positive 1. So our slope is a positive 4 when we divide. 4 divided by 1 is 4. So now we can draw our new line. Our new line needs to have a y-intercept of 4. And that means that we have to start at 4. So 1, 2, 3, there's 4. We're going to use our slope we just found because it has to stay the same. So up 4, right 1. If you want to make some more dots, we can go back here, and instead of going up, we can go down. And instead of going right, we can go left. Down 1, or sorry, down 4, right 1. Down 4, right 1. Those two lines will not touch. The last piece of the puzzle is we need to write our equation. Well, equations look like y equals mx plus b. Well, we have everything we need for this problem. We know that m is 4 because we found it over here. B is the y-intercept, and the y-intercept is also 4, so plus 4. We are going to do the exact same thing on part B. First thing we need to find is our slope. So we need our rise over run. Well, I'm going to start here in the middle. This time the line is going down, so I need to go down 1, 2. Since I went down 2, that's a negative 2. And I'm going to go right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means it's a positive 5. Now, we're ready to plot our new line. The y-intercept this time is 5. So we're going to start at 1, 2, 3, 4. There's my starting point. I'm going to use the exact same slope. So I'm going to go down 2 and right 5. Down 2 and right 5. If I want more points, I can go back to the center and go up 2 and left 5. Up 2 and left 5. As you can see, again, these lines will never touch. They are parallel. We are ready to write our equation. Y equals the slope for this line is negative 2 over 5. And the y-intercept is positive 5. Okay, so let's move on to the next example. Hopefully you're starting to feel how to put these together. So we're going to take the picture out of the problem now. Example 4, all we're doing is taking away the picture. I want you to write the equation of a line that is parallel to our equation and has a y-intercept of 6. So we need m. Well, since parallel means same slope, I look at my equation and my slope is right there. That part stays the same. The other thing I need is a y-intercept, and it says right here, the y-intercept is 6. So plus 6. We just took the picture out of the problem. So now we're going to step up to the final kinds of examples here. These are really the kind that you're going to see in your notes, or sorry, in your homework. All the math is up to us now. We know that our line is parallel to that equation and goes through that point. This is putting together everything from last lesson with the new lesson. So, this part here helps you to find your slope. My slope of this line that I am given is 6. That means the slope of my line is also 6. Now that we have m and we have x and y, we can use the same skills we learned last class. Y equals mx plus b. So y is -3, m is +6, x is +1, plus b. We're ready to multiply. 6 times 1 is 6, plus b. We need the 6 to go to the other side, so the opposite is subtracting 6. -3, take away 6 is -9. We now have m, which is right here. We now have b right there, and they go there and there. Our final answer, y equals m is 6, x, and b is -9. You just put it all together. Pause the video, try b on your own real quick. Okay, so let's see how you did. Again, this stuff right here helps us to find m. Parallel means keep m the same, so m is 5. We also have x and y, so let's use our equation. Y is 4, m is 5, x is 2. Keep the 4. 5 times 2 is 10, plus b. We want to move that 10, so I'm going to subtract 10 from both sides. 4 take away 10 is -6. There's your b. We are ready to plug m and b right there and there. Final answer, y equals 5x take away 6. Hopefully you got that one right. So those are all examples about parallel. Now we're going to switch to perpendicular. Same exact examples, only now we are doing perpendicular. So, which of the following equations is perpendicular to our equation given? Well, perpendicular means opposite and reciprocal. Well, if we look over here at our equation, That m is 3. Well, first, we need it as a fraction, 3 over 1. So this is positive, which means the opposite is negative. The reciprocal of 3 over 1 is 1 over 3. That's the slope we are looking for. So if you look at your three options, A doesn't match, but B does. So B is the answer. Now we're going to do the exact same thing on the next one. We are writing an equation again. We have perpendicular, which again means opposite, reciprocal. So our slope given is 2 over 5. So 2 over 5, that is positive. The opposite is negative. 2 over 5 flips over to 5 over 2. That's your slope that you're using. So y equals negative 5 over 2x. And I don't care what the y-intercept is. You can keep it minus 7. You could make it plus 6. Those are both options. Okay, moving on. Next step is the same pictures we saw before. So the only difference between this one and the last time we saw pictures is that our rules are it has to be perpendicular. We still have the y-intercept of 4. We still have a y-intercept of 5. I'm going to save us some time. We already know that the slope of this line is 4 over 1. And we already know the slope of this line is negative 2 over 5. But we need the reciprocal. This is a positive. The opposite is a negative. 4 over 1 becomes 1 over 4. That's our slope that we are using. So our y-intercept is 4, starting at 1, 2, 3, 4. We are now using this slope. So we are going to go down 1 because it's negative and right 4. Down 1 and right 4. If we go back here, we can go up 1 and left 4. Up 1 and left 4. If you notice, we are not parallel anymore. We're looking for perpendicular. And yes, those two lines are perpendicular. Final part, writing our equation. Y equals. Well, the first thing we need is m. We're using the circled m. So negative 1 over 4x. We need the y-intercept. It is right here. It is 4. That one is done. Let's come over to this second example. We need to do the opposite and the reciprocal. Well, the opposite of a negative is a positive. And if we take 2 over 5 and flip it over, we get 5 over 2. There is our slope. Positive 5 over 2. Y-intercept is at 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We need to go up 5 and right 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right 2. Go back to our starting point. Down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and left 2. Down 5 and left 2. Down 5 and left 2. And as you can see, they are perpendicular. So our equation is y equals, our slope is the circled slope, 5 over 2x. Our y-intercept is a positive 5. Okay, so let's keep going with the examples we were doing. Same thing as our previous one like this, but now we are again changing to perpendicular. Well, we need the slope. There is your slope right there. 1 over 4. The opposite of a positive is a negative. The reciprocal of 1 over 4 is 4 over 1. Or you can just write that as negative 4. Let's write our equation. Y equals, we're using the negative 4 now. And we need the y-intercept, and it says right here, the y-intercept is 6. So plus 6. Fantastic. So, let's put it all together. We are writing the equation of a line. We know it is perpendicular. So, this right here only helps us find m. Well, the m of this equation is negative 4. We need that in a fraction. The opposite of a negative is a positive. The reciprocal of 4 over 1 is 1 over 4. This is your m. Now that we have m, and we have x and y, we can use y equals mx plus b. Y is 5. M is 1 over 4 times x is 8. Put up our line. 5 equals 1 divided by 4 times 8 gives you 2 in your calculator. Subtract 2 from both sides. 5 minus 2 is 3 for b. We are now going to plug m and b here and here. Final answer, y equals 1 over 4x, and b is positive 3. And let's finish up part B exactly the same way. You guys pause the video, try it on your own. Okay, so let's see how you did. Perpendicular. All of this is to find m. 5 is the number we start with. We need it as a fraction, so it's over 1. We do the opposite first. The opposite of a positive is a negative. The reciprocal of 5 over 1 is 1 over 5. This is our m that we're using. Here's x, here's y. We use our equation. Y is 4, m is negative 1 over 5, times x is 2, plus b, multiply, and your calculator, negative 1 divided by 5 times 2 should give you negative 0.4. Decimals are okay there. We need b by itself. We're going to add 0.4 to both sides. 4 plus 0.4 is 4.4 for b. We are now ready to put m and b here and there. Final answer, y equals negative 1 over 5x plus 4.4. All right, last kind of example, totally different. Done with this kind of math. We're trying to decide if these lines are simply parallel, perpendicular, or neither. So to do that, we need to compare their slopes. Well, to compare their slopes, we need y by itself. So this first equation, put in my line. I need y by itself. To get y by itself, I need to subtract 2x to the other side. That leaves me with 3y. Now we know we cannot put those together. X comes first, negative 2x. Whole number comes second, plus 9. Divide everything by 3. We get y equals, if you do negative 2 divided by 3 in my calculators, hit math, enter, enter, it keeps it exactly the same. that is already reduced. 9 divided by 3 is 3. That's half your answer. Let's look at the other half. Same thing on this side. We need y by itself. I'm going to add 6x to both sides. That leaves me with negative 9y equals x comes first, 6x plus 36. Divide everything by negative 9. We get y equals, in the calculator, 6 divided by negative 9. Hit math, enter, enter. You get negative 2 over 3 x. 36 divided by negative 9 is negative 4. We now have y by itself. We are now ready to compare their slopes. The slope of the first equation, right there. The slope of the second equation, right there. Well, to me, they look exactly the same. Negative 2 over 3 and negative 2 over 3 are the same. So, same slopes means that these lines are parallel. Pause the video. Try the next one on your own. Okay, let's see how you did. Subtract 4x. You're left with negative 6y equals negative 4x plus 12. Divide everything by negative 6. We get y equals negative 4 divided by negative 6. Math, enter, enter, gives us 2 over 3x. And 12 divided by negative 6 is negative 2. Well, let's look at the other equation. Subtract 9x from both sides. We're left with 6y equals negative 9x plus 24. Divide everything by 6. Y equals negative 9 divided by 6. Math, enter, enter, is negative 3 over 2x. And 24 divided by 6 is plus 4. Compare the slopes, 2 over 3 and negative 3 over 2. One is positive, one is negative. 2 over 3 flips over to 3 over 2. These are opposite reciprocals and are perpendicular.